And welcome back to the channel. On this video I'm going to be riding the King Bull Hunter 2.0, as you see it right there. I'll get my shadow out of the way. And on this video I want to talk about Rad Powerbikes, and they are in trouble as far as survival. Rad Powerbikes says it may close down by January 2026, that would be, as we're nearing the end of 2025. And it says here the Seattle, Washington-based company has been suspected of operating on a skeleton crew after numerous rounds of layoffs. And if they don't get any financial help coming up, they could cease operations, as I say, by January. Now, this is not a total surprise to me, although, you know, the way e-bike companies have been folding lately, it's been a little bit since we've had one. Some months have gone by here, but this one is, like I say, not a total shock, because about a year ago there was word of this last year, and I believe it was the CEO had moved on. They got a new CEO, and there was word at that time that they were in some financial stress. So I'm not surprised really at this story. I really don't like to see stories like this, of course, because I'm as many of you out there are as well, an e-bike enthusiast, and I like to see all companies do well, you know, especially a company like this who kind of paved the way, I would say, for a lot of other e-bike companies. And I got to tell you that back in 2018, I think it was 2019, it doesn't matter, I always get this mixed up, whether it was 2018 or 19, let's say 19, I purchased my first e-bike on Black Friday deal. And the first e-bike I purchased was in fact a Rad Powerbike. It was the Rad Rover 4 that was on sale on a Black Friday deal. And the reason why I chose that bike was, I got to tell you first, at that time there wasn't as many choices as there is today. So I did my homework, you know, new into the e-bikes. I had ridden bikes for years, but not electric bikes. And it had been several years since I've ridden a bike of any kind. So I did my homework, and everything was pointing back to Rad Powerbikes because they were reputable. They had good reviews. I didn't see any bad reports on them or anything. And so I went for it. I bought my first bike, as I say, a Rad Rover 4. Never had any issues with the bike. Never had a flat tire even with the bike. So no problems. And I ended up moving on to a different bike. Well, I still kept that one, but I got a second one because I started to learn what I needed or wanted out of a bike. I gotta tell you right now, it's freezing cold out here and it's windy. The temperature's in the 30s, and the wind chill, I'm sure, is making it at least in the 20s, if not in the teens. It's cold. It's the coldest day. It was the coldest overnight low this year so far this fall, and it's since moving here to Tennessee, this is definitely the coldest morning that I've felt. I can really feel it. I'm bundled up. I've got my winter coat on. I've got winter gloves on. I've got my toque on under my helmet. Of course, I do have my bike helmet on. But getting back to this, there are other companies too that are struggling, and I'll probably do a video on those. There's one for sure that I'm going to talk about on a future video that's also in trouble, and I want to read some more on that one. But this one, I'm recording this video on Tuesday, November 11th. So happy Remembrance Day or Veterans Day out there to each and every one of you. And So let's hope that this doesn't come to be, but I have a bad feeling that it's going to cease operation with Rad. And as I say, they're one of the biggest name companies out there still, you know, to this day. And but I noticed, you know, to compete, their prices had started to go up in the last little bit here. I'd say at least the last year. I noticed their bike prices have gone up in comparison to other companies that were going lower than them. So it does make it difficult to compete when your prices are higher, you know. It's hard to compete when some other company is offering pretty much the same bike deal. So I wanted to get out here and let you know, and let me know in the comments if maybe you own a Rad, or do you have one on order? And how do you feel about this? Like I say, I don't like to see them go, especially a company like this, big name. Like I say, it's right there is one of the biggest names. I'd say electric has really built its brand in the last few years a lot to become number one. But I think Rad is right there in the top couple of bike companies, right? At least with familiarity and all, you know, a known brand name. You just have to bring up that name, Rad Powerbikes, and chances are just about everyone, especially everyone in the e-bike world, has heard of them. So let's see what happens in the future here. We'll definitely keep up on this story and see where it goes, but it's darn cold out here. At least the sun is shining. If the wind wasn't up, I wouldn't mind this at all, but the wind makes it a bit chilly. It's not that terrible. I'm dressed well enough, you know. This cop stopped right there. I wonder if he wants to talk to me. Not sure. No, I guess not. He's just parked there to watch me. Anyway, let me know in the comments your thoughts on this. Does it worry you with whatever bike you bought, be it a Rad Powerbike, which that company's now in trouble, or any other bike? Do you ever worry? I gotta tell you, I was a little bit worried about one of my bikes and whether I was gonna for sure get it. And I'll just quickly tell you this story before we wrap up the video. So I bought a Lyric Graffiti X, and I purchased it last January 2024. I actually bought it, I think it's the 24th or 26th of January. I can't remember. It's one of those two dates. It doesn't matter anyway. But so it's coming up on almost 2 years. It took a little over 9 months before I received the bike. Now, I did know it was going to take a while. Originally, they said it would be August, and I got it on Halloween. So I started to get a little bit worried that, am I going to get my bike, or is the company going under, or what? But I knew that, you know, the bike was in pre-production when I bought it. It still hadn't been finalized. And so that one had me a little bit worried. That's the only one really that had me worried. The other bikes were all in pretty much, well, no, I was going to say the others were all in stock. Well, the other graffiti was not in stock. I think I had to wait on that one too, but not as long, a few months. But yeah, it does make you nervous when you buy a pre-order bike. That's why I don't think I would do it again. Especially paying a lot of money like that. Like that bike was a little over $3,000. And now look at the price. I did get a good deal on it, I gotta say that, but it does make you nervous when you buy on pre-order and then you sit and wait, because who knows if that company's gonna survive and pull through, you know, like, and come through with your bike. So I'd be a little leery of that, and I would definitely personally want to get one that's in stock. So that's going to do it for this video. I just wanted to give a heads up on what's going on with Rad Powerbikes and what the future holds there. And if I get any more news and get more affirmative news, I'll definitely let you guys know. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it is what it is, as they say. So that's going to do it for this video. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, thank you very much. Just hit that subscribe button. If you want to be notified as to when the next video comes up on the channel, just hit that notification bell. And if you want to leave a comment on this or any other videos that you've seen on the channel, go ahead and leave that in the comments below. Once again, thank you for joining me on this video. And until next time, be safe everyone, and keep your wheels on the road. See you later.